is. But I saw that little different. So we have today with us an IITian with us. But you learn way beyond the chartered accountancy, because chartered accountancy or IIT or engineering or anything is much smaller part of life. Life is much bigger part of life. Unfortunately, many kids equate chartered accountancy with life, or life with the chartered accountancy, and then they can't come out of that confusion. So that is why this particular session we have arranged for you today. I am very thankful to His Grace Radheshyamdas ji for coming out here and finding a time for you people. Very important. He is a IIT topper, IIT Mumbai topper way back. He's an engineer. He has worked with the Thermax. He has also worked with the Government Institute for Electrochemical Engineering as a senior design executive. He handles the ISKCON's initiatives in the United States. He is there on the US for 3 months. He is on the country come down today morning only. So he has delivered a lectures at Boston University, at MIT, Texas University, variety of universities, and you will find out in the next 1 hour, 1.5 hour, whatever you people grasp, you'll find out a totally different perspective towards life. I have met him at seen a lot of lectures on YouTube. I went and met him personally out there at the ISKCON temple, and there are a lot of thought processes that you will get during the session. And at this age, if you can grasp it, if you can understand some important lessons out of it, it will be very, very important for you at a latter part of life. Some things might hit you very personally. Don't take them personally. None of the things are intended at individual things, but you'll realize, right? So it's without wasting any further time, I welcome Radheshyamdas ji. Yeah, for students out here. So I welcome him here. So
Hare Krishna. It's good. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuhunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So they are seeing the slideshow there, is it?
yeah, they'll be able to get a slide.
So very happy to be here. I had come some time ago. Professor Abhishek Savrasar is very, very popular, as you all know. He is not just a teacher, he is a friend of all of you and a great hero in the field of chartered accountancy. And I heard that it is in his family line, his father, grandfather, since even in 70s, their family is a very popular family. And what I adore in him, you all know him as a CA, but I also see him as a man of great values and morals and ethics and a man of character. And he has a very great intention to see that while you all are students here, you take some values with you when you are going through this training program for the CA. So last time when I came, I remember also, as much as the students were listening to the seminar, he was equally enthusiastic for it. So he and his good wife have been to our temple in ISKCON NVCC, Katrajikondwa. They came for half a day and spent time with us. I'm very thankful to him for being such a good example, both in his field, just like Arjuna, you see. Arjuna was a great warrior on one hand, on the other hand, a great devotee of Krishna. And a very good example, like a Raja Rishi, like a saintly king. So he's a saintly CA, we can say. So I had spoken on mind last time. This time I chose this topic on decision making in conflicting situations. Especially, you will see that as we proceed. Why did I choose this topic? You can try to guess what this topic could mean. Easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life. So, easy choices means oftentimes in our life, certain choices are easy to make. It makes us feel that it is cool. But eventually we end up becoming fools. Later on, we get tricked by those choices. I'll show you a small video. Sound? So you can watch it. So, as you saw here, two of them, they made two different choices, isn't it? Huh? One of them was choosing to eat some junk food, and the other one was eating salads and other things, good things. And one of them was just kicking away the gym, the exercise part. The other one was regularly exercising, which is a little, we all feel a little lazy to exercise. Huh? So, in the beginning. Similarly, one was, hearing some breaking news. Every day his head was getting more and more disturbed. The other one was choosing some Bhagavad Gita audio book to read every day, one chapter. Hearing some very valuable piece of information. He was building his wisdom quotient by hearing that. Similarly, one fellow you must have noticed, he went to the party after picking up the phone calls, isn't it? And spent a lot of time there, wasting his time. Other fellow went to the party, but he didn't sit down at all. Did you observe? He was just standing and said, bye-bye, friends. And then he went out very quickly. And then the first fellow, he was always moving away the work that he has to do because it was such big piled up thing on his table. Did you notice the other fellow was gradually completing? And to-do list was getting tick marks. How many of you would like to be like that? keep on finishing, isn't it? Huh? So little by little by little, he was completing the work. Generally, when you all begin your any course in any college, in the beginning you feel, oh, exam is so far away. Huh? That's why Sir was telling me now they have made it trimester now instead of semester now. Like in America, most of the colleges have trimester. So then you see that the exams come very quickly. You don't have too much time to, relax. So this fellow was completing work and tick marking, to-do list. Huh? It was come very nicely. It was getting over. So you observed that both of them were making two different type of choices. And why are they showing this movie over and over again? You first day you do one thing, second day you repeat. It becomes a habit. That's how the habits are formed. Habit means a repetitive pattern. When you do later on, it goes to your subconscious mind. Let me tell you an example. Uh, there are two aspects of your mind. The top aspect is called as conscious mind. And there is another mind called as subconscious mind. See, there's a big difference between the two. Your conscious mind is like a watchman posted at the gate. He will not let any car come in unless he verifies, is it an authentic person? Is it trustworthy or some suspicious element? Conscious mind is always scrutinizing about what is to be taken and what is not to be taken. Whereas subconscious mind is not like the watchman, it's like the earth or the ground. Like if I sow the mango seed, it will just accept it. Mango tree will come. If I sow a neem seed, the neem tree will come. Earth doesn't protest. Earth doesn't say, hey, why are you putting a neem seed in me? Put a mango seed. Will the earth tell you? It's not going to say. Subconscious mind is like that. In your subconscious mind, you receive things, from people you don't even know what is good, what is bad for you many times. Huh? You're innocent. So this fellow was eating junk food. Why did he do that? Can anybody say? Instead of eating salads, why he was preferring junk food? Because it tastes good. Huh? It tastes good. And the titillation of the tongue made him think that I will prefer going for junk food every day. Although the world is now woken up to the difference between eating a junk food and eating salads. Huh? Similarly, exercising is a little boring thing. One of the gyms owner told me, January 1st, if 100 people come to the gym, within a week or two, it becomes 20. Huh? It just drops down. People make New Year resolution. They're super enthusiastic, huh? Which doesn't last beyond. Spoke about it.
But I've been going for since January of 2024 till today. Today will be my around 51st session. So today, every alternate day I have tried. I reduced a bit. I found out the flexibility, but I realized much late in my life.
Isn't it? Which is easy? Making resolution is easy or sticking to it is easy? Sticking is easy and making is easy. Making is very easy. Sticking to it is difficult. That's why I told you sticking to it is a hard decision. Making it is a very easy thing to do. Huh? So that's what I told you. Easy choices, hard life, hard choices, easier life. You will see here, see these two roads. On the left side is the easy choices. Any Tom, Dick and Harry can make these choices, you see. Sitting on social media for hours together, watching porn, becoming lazy and lethargic, sleeping 3 hours in the day, 12 hours at night. Huh? They can sleep like that. Anybody can do that. You don't need big qualification to do this. But the result is, what follows is a hard life, you see, like depression and self-hatred and anxiety and all that. On the other hand, if you make hard decisions in the beginning itself, like for example, exercising, studying regularly, daily, and reviewing at night, what did I do today? Huh? How did I spend my day today? Was it fruitful or useless today? Huh? Keep a track. So in this way, you see, then what follows eventually, you see, huh? Self-respect, controlled life, happiness. Huh? So please look at this picture carefully. There are two fellows. One fellow is making hard decisions in the beginning. He is climbing up the mountain, and then from there he is jumping to the other mountain, and he is very soon going to reach the flag. Whereas the other fellow thought, oh, why should I take the trouble to climb up the mountain? It's too steep. Let me just take an easy way. So he thought sliding is more enjoyable. So he's sliding in the beginning. But after that, it is so steep and straight that he's not able to make it to the top. You're seeing that? Hmm? So, this is what happens to those who make cool decisions in the beginning without being responsible. Like, for example, TV watching is very easy, but studying books is boring. You can ask any child. Like in our Pune, we have a school. We have about 350 children there. I called a group of them and asked, "What do you like to do? Studying or playing?" What do you think they will say? Playing all day. Then I asked them, "How many days in a week there should be holiday?" They said, "Every day." Because everybody likes fun. But if you don't study, then you don't have a good future, isn't it? So TV watching appears very cool. Similarly, snoozing alarm is very easy to do in the morning. Keep on snoozing every 10 minutes. But then we have to get up to study. It's time to learn, isn't it? Somebody has to wake us up like this, you see? Isn't it? Because that is our responsibility. So, similarly, eating for taste, I was telling you, it's very titillating to the tongue when we eat anything. But eating for health, one has to learn to cultivate a taste for eating in a healthy manner, isn't it? Similarly, this is another easy thing to do, by which we can waste a lot of time gossiping to different people. We lose a lot of time in this, chatting, chatting, chatting. Listening takes maturity. At least we should know, those who are good listeners. God has given us 2 ears and one mouth, isn't it? So we can listen well. Those who listen well, if you see the Bhagavad Gita, first chapter, Krishna doesn't speak a word. He's just listening very attentively because he knows Arjuna is weeping and he wants to open his heart. Silently, Krishna listens. One full chapter. The second chapter, seventh verse, Arjuna collapsed and put his bow down and said, "I'm not going to fight the battle anymore." And then he said, "Oh Krishna, you are my guru. Now you instruct me." When Arjuna hired Krishna, then he began speaking Bhagavad Gita. That means, don't speak unless you are hired. So that is Krishna's formula. Listen well before you speak. So there's a saying in English, speak in such a way that people can listen to you. Listen in such a way that people can open up their heart to you. So both we have to learn. So, yeah. See, nothing truly meaningful or lasting has ever been created in a short period of time. Like we say, no pains, no gains. Like you sow a seed, you have to water it, you have to put manure, you have to put a fence around it, make sure there is sufficient sunlight, make sure nobody harms it. Gradually it will grow into a big mango tree and someday you will get thousands of mangoes from that. So mango tree, does it come by itself or you have to cultivate it? Similarly, good habits have to be cultivated. On the other hand, the weeds and the grasses, do they have to be cultivated? Similarly, bad habits come on their own. That's the one lesson we can learn. And the weeds also, if they are in the new early stages, thin weeds, we can easily uproot them. But as the weeds become stronger, they become a sapling or they become bubble tree, like a thorny bush. It's more difficult to cut. So the bad habits are easy to uproot in the early stage or later stage? Early stage. That's why one should be very watchful, attentive. What are the bad habits one should know? One should uproot in the early stage so that they don't grow very big. And good habits don't come on their own. Just like a mango tree doesn't come on its own. You have to cultivate good habits. So that's what he's saying here. Hard choices means never retiring because the brain has to be engaged in finding new solutions in the moment and not just remembering old formulas. One should be, actually, if you make hard choices, like I showed you, one of the persons in that video, he was making the hard choices in every step. You saw that. What does it do for you? What's the benefit you will get? That's mentioned here. It makes you wiser, smarter, stronger, wealthier. And then easy choices, they reverse your progress and they divert your energies, your attention, your concentration, your focus in life. Yeah. So when you are making any kind of decision in life, this is a very simple steps I have given you. You can see here, first find out what the problem is and what are the different alternatives I can take, and evaluate the alternatives and make a decision and implement. Here I am going to give you a problem here. Let us see how many of you solve this problem. It's a short snippet here. If you listen attentively and you can think well, because the topic is decision making in conflicting situations, correct? No? Till now, I have shown you in the video conflicting situation. You like to taste junk food, but that's not good for you. You have to choose salads. You like to push aside your books and assignments and go to Instagram or YouTube or something and Facebook and spend time, but that will waste your time and you won't be able to complete your work later. Bit by bit, you have to keep completing your studies. In the same manner, I showed you many things. Exercising is good. So between the two things, one choice appears to be very cool and enjoyable, which is not good for us. Other choice appears to be painful in the beginning. So Lord Krishna says about it in 18.37 Bhagavad Gita, last chapter. He says that good things in this world, in the beginning, there is a small pain in the beginning, austerity. But later you can be happy forever. Just like, for example, if any of you while running, say you got wounded in your knee, it started bleeding. So the doctor applies tincture, you know that? As soon as he puts tincture, how do you feel? I immediately will scream because it gives a burning sensation. But after that, what do you feel? It's very cool, it is. Soothing it is. Then you think, oh, doctor did the right thing because he dressed the wound and he applied the tincture. Although it's a little painful in the beginning, subsequently he became happy. Same thing. In your studies, if you study in the beginning, you may see all your friends are having good fun, a fun time. Only you are the only one studying. You get discouraged also sometimes. But those who study steadily, they are the ones who actually make it, if you see, over a period of time. So, in this way, which means you, between the two choices, don't go for the easy one, go for the hard one, I told you. Now, this is a similar situation. There's a train track here. It's a short story. Hear this carefully, and then I'll ask you a question. See, there was a group of children playing in two railway tracks. 3, 4 children are playing in one track, and only one child was standing in another track. But the child was standing in the other track, which was a disused track, where trees and plants and all had grown up. So, but the other track in which three, 4 children were playing, that is an operational track. So now when the train came and you were just standing beside the track interchange, say you are a station master or somebody, you could make the train change its course to the disused track and you can save most of the kids because in one there are 3, 4 kids in the regular track. And the disused track, there is only one child. So now you have to make a choice because the train is coming now. It's coming. So you are worried that if the train goes in the regular track, 3, 4 children will die. But if you give a signal to the train to go in the other track, only one will be lost. So one may think, okay, let me do that. At the same time, the lone child who is playing by the disused track, that child has to be sacrificed, isn't it? Or would you rather let the train go its way? So here is a conflicting situation. You all understand. You don't know which one to decide. Think about it. Where would you ask the driver of the train to drive? Whether in the regular track or in the disused track. Imagine if you were a station master, you have to make a decision in a moment. There's not much time. It's a crucial decision because it involves lives of children, small children. And majority of the people will think that, let maximum lives be saved, isn't it? If it is to be decided between one life versus 4 lives. So most people may tend to think what? Let the train be diverted to the disused track. But is it real justice? Think about it. It's not real justice because then the child who was playing in the disused track used to always play because the child was fully confident that the train won't. No train would come there at all, isn't it? So was he right or the other 4 children right? The child using disused track, he was right. But for being right, he is being punished. So it goes against the justice, isn't it? On the other hand, the other children who are playing in the regular track, for doing something wrong, they are rewarded. isn't it? So here is a very difficult question about what we should do. Anybody wants to say anything about it? What would you do? It's a hard decision uh, to let the train go in its regular course, huh? Uh, and not make it go in the disused track, because that's a hard decision. But very few people few people may make that decision. Uh, they may think that I am more smart. Let me save the four children and let one child be sacrificed, even though he did the right thing. Mm. And this happens in our life always. Many times the people who walk the right path, there are people who are popular and there are people who are right. And the number of people who do popular things are majority. You will see that. And people who walk the right path are minority. So the minority is often sacrificed for the sake of the fun of the majority, correct now? Just because majority is doing something, that doesn't make it right, isn't it? So you see here, analyze it, think and reflect, decide your answer. Now here is the answer, you can see it. See, most people might choose to divert the course of the train and sacrifice only one child to save most of the children at the expense of the one child. They will say that it's a rational decision most people would make morally and emotionally, isn't it? This child is shocked now. Suddenly the train is coming in this side. He never anticipated it. But have you ever thought that the child choosing to play on the disused track had in fact made the right decision? I already asked you this question. Other, he had, nevertheless, he had to be sacrificed because of his ignorant friends who chose to play where the danger was, isn't it? This kind of dilemma happens to us in schools, colleges, office, community, politics, everywhere. The minority is sacrificed for the interest of majority. Now, if you think deeply, the child who chose not to play with the rest on the operational track, he was sidelined and he was sacrificed for no good reason. Now, if you see here, to make proper decision is not try to change the course of the train, because the kids playing on the operation track should have known very well that the track was still in use. And if the train driver gives a loud siren, they will run away. Why they will run away? Because they know very well that many trains come and go in that route. In India, it's very common. Even the people who are purchasing things in the railway station, generally Indian train gives a sound, siren. Then slowly they start. You've seen that? And all the guys, whatever they purchase, slowly, they'll come and board the moving train. It's very common sight in India. Is it not true? In America, they close the doors. So you have to be either you're in or you're out. You can't be climbing in the last minute. You can't do that. Similarly, if a train is coming in a particular track, children know that anyway trains keep coming, going. We are playing now. If train comes, it would go away. You give a loud siren from a little distance, they will all run away. And if the train was diverted, that lone child would definitely die because he never thought that the train could come over to that track. Is it not true? Isn't it? Because that it doesn't come at all. You would not have expected. And not only that, the very fact that the track was not in use, it was broken and unfit to use. And if you are going to use the track, not only that one child will be sacrificed, it's very unsafe, because there may be, it can put many lives of passengers at stake, because it was an unused track. It was broken track. You were diverting the train. It's not like diverting a car. Car you can divert from this road to that road. But railway line, it's not like that. If it is a broken track, you saved 3-4 children and you lost 30-40 people dying in the train. You may know about the Bhubaneswar big accident, isn't it? So in this way, you may end up sacrificing 40, 50, 60 lives. It's quite possible because of that wrong decision. So now how many of you understood the hard decision which I told you just now? See what Einstein says here. What is right is not always popular. And what is popular is always not right. He says. So we all know that the life is full of, such tough decisions. And we can't make hasty decisions. One has to be very careful. Like right now, when I told you, many of you might not have thought of this, which I told you now. That by saving the 3-4 children, we may lose 30-40 lives. Because we are diverting the train to an unused track. Correct, no? So, on the other hand, if you made the hard decision You told the driver that give a loud horn, and then you continue going in the same track. Very likely that those 4 children will be saved. They would have run away hearing the sound, and the other child also will be saved. So it's a hard decision. Similarly, in your life also, when it comes to decision making, we have to think deeply. What are the consequences of not making the right decision? To a degree, you are able to foresee the consequences well in advance. To that degree, you will get the willpower and inner strength to make right choices, isn't it? So we all make mistakes. That's why we have erasers and the pencils behind, isn't it? Even a chairman's pencil has a rubber behind it, is said, because we do commit mistakes. But it's not wrong to commit mistakes, but you have to learn from the mistakes. In our life, whenever you commit a mistake, as you all rightly said now, that many of the things which are wrong are enjoyable to do. But all the enjoyable things are not the right thing to do, and because they are not right, they bring us suffering also subsequently. So we need a calm mind to make perfect decisions. Otherwise, stressed mind. Scientifically, I'll show you here in a few slides how the stressed mind makes wrong decisions. So we all have this uncertainty in decision making. The reason is simple. One is pleasurable, one is right. And also the one which is right is good in the long run, whereas one which is pleasurable is good only instantly. It's instant pleasure. So we face the duality. Which way to go? Do I want short-term pleasure or do I want long enduring pleasure? So which is good in the long run for your whole life? Long term. So that's the right thing to do. But oftentimes we look for some instant pleasure. See, when you are stressed, you cannot trust your mind. In a stressed state, mind makes errors in making decisions. Therefore, the emotional states are important. Sometimes you feel happy, sometimes you are miserable, sometimes you get A grade, sometimes you get F grade, you're morose, sometimes you're confident, you're overwhelmed, sometimes you get so many negative inputs from the environment, and sometimes you're healthy, sometimes you're sick. In businesses, sometimes you're skyrocketing or nose diving. So how can we keep our minds cool in such a world where things are not stable? Things are always in a turmoil. So Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna that be aware that you are living in a world where seasons keep changing. Now, summer has been pretty hot this time, isn't it? Like I was in Bhopal recently, the temperature was 47 degrees centigrade. And the wind was like a hot air. Hot air was, I was feeling as if a fire is next to you. It was pretty hot. And then there is a chill winter also at another season. So Lord Krishna says that this kind of seasons keep changing in this world. And one should learn to tolerate them. Similarly, sometimes you get A grade, sometimes you get F grade. But you should always look ahead. What can I learn from this and grow out of it? Not just go through situations, but grow through the situations and learn from it. So like here you see, the ship is sailing very smoothly. It's a very good time for the ship. There doesn't seem to be any problem here. But this is time of calm, but there is also time of storm. So how do you survive in time of storm? In your life also, there are calm times like this, when life is smooth sailing. This is a good time for you to cultivate good habits, when things are quite calm. Like I was living in Pune camp. We have a temple. It's called ISKCON Pune. At the end of the MG road, we have a temple. Very close to that, we have a battalion. So the soldiers were, we have seen the soldiers practicing there, left, right, left in the morning, almost 20 years. So one of the devotees in the temple was telling, hey, 20 years these people are practicing, there is no war. But what is the need of this practice? I said, they have to practice now because war may come anytime. And I said that, and then next month the Kargil war came at that time. And all the soldiers came to the temple, they were bowing down to God and they were going. So I was just talking to them. They said, see, we were getting training because that was the time of calm. Now the time of storm has come. We have to go to the war now. You heard the saying, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. You heard that? The more you sweat in peace, that means peace is which time? Time of calm or storm? Calm. The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. Because you are very experienced and trained. So that is why one should not utilize one's time well. See, this is what I was telling you. The prefrontal cortex, if you see, the cognitive control, you know it is bad, but you cannot stop it. Because cognitive brain knows what is the difference between good and bad, but it goes offline when you are stressed. When we are stressed, it doesn't give you enough strength to make the right choices. So we are almost like a zombie. We just blindly make the choices, even though we know it is not good for me. Like one doctor had told one of the students that who was having a very big obese body. Doctor said, see, you should eat only this mung sprout and the salads like cucumber, such kinds of things. 2-3 days he ate, and after that he said, I can't eat this. Again, he went back to junk food. A doctor asked, what are you doing? He said, doctor, I'm not a horse to eat all this. He's saying, I'm a horse to eat this mung sprout and all these things. Now I want to eat the bread and bun and cookies and everything. So he knows it's not good for him, but he's unable to give up. So therefore, Lord Krishna says in the Gita here, you say 6.6, if you conquered your mind, then your mind can be your best friends and it can give you the strength to make the right choices. But if you haven't conquered your mind, the mind will be your greatest enemy. For example, say you all have a smartphone. Everybody who has a chappal, sandals to wear, they also have a smartphone nowadays. Everybody has a phone. So is your phone your servant or is your phone your boss? Are you confident? When you are saying the phone is our servant. See, when it's a phone servant, you can order the phone now. Now I need some educational materials or something. You can take from there and then use it. Other times you keep it in the side. And the phone will not disturb you. But now if you see, every few minutes you get a beep, you get a message. And the phone, the way the phone makes us a slave, needless to say, which you all know very well. Messages keep coming, shots keep coming. Instagram shots, people keep watching hours together. Isn't it? Phone calls keep coming. You keep chatting with your friends. And then you find over a period of time, or you post something and watch how many likes I got, or how many this I got, how many this I got. You keep watching. Nowadays, people can live without their wife even for a week, but without the phone, one day they cannot live. They can't live. So how can you say the phone is a servant? Is phone a servant or phone has become our boss? It has become our boss. So therefore, our minds, which has become like a monkey jumping from one branch to another, like that, the mind is always hopping and jumping. So we all face one challenge with our mind. You see the two colors, one is red and one is white. See, our mind acts by instinct, and intelligence acts by reason. So for making right decision, what do you need? You should act by instinct or you should act by reason. Yeah? Reason. Yeah, you should be able to reason out. In America, one boy was going in a scooter. America, nobody uses a scooter. Generally, use a car. But occasionally, you find somebody going in a two-wheeler. So he was fastly driving it, and he had a cab. So the cab flew off. Then immediately he kept the bike on the side of the road, and then he was running behind the cab. And at the time, cars were all going very fast on both the sides. So should he look at the cab or should he look at the cars? That is real intelligence. Now you all understand. Why he has to look at the car? His life is more important than getting the cab. Is it not true? But if his mind is pushing him, don't lose the cab. Capture the cab. So his mind is pushing him, but intelligence is telling him, cab is not as important as your life, my friend. It gives reasoning. So be careful. Even if the cab is, driven over by a car or something, still not a problem. You can get another one. So be very careful. So that's the reason I told you the intelligence means reasoning. Mind means emotion. So mind often goes by instinctive pleasures, instant pleasures. That means you have to strengthen your intelligence to be able to subdue the mind's wrong decisions. Mind makes wrong decisions while intelligence makes the right decisions. Like here you see, mind is saying, wouldn't it be nice to jump? It wouldn't be nice to jump, he's thinking. Probably he's frustrated with something in life. You see, in Bangalore, 2023, 248 youngsters committed suicide. Recently, I got the news. 248 in 1 year in one city. Can you imagine? It's such a big number where India has never seen before. It is so shocking to hear. And that is called as the Silicon Valley of the East. But although it's Silicon Valley of the East, a lot of computer jobs are available. But the frustration also is equally increasing. You can see that all these people who committed suicide, they're all educated fellows, which means they are not able to control their mind. See what intelligence is saying. It hurt last time when you fell from your bed. Jumping from here could kill you. So intelligence says, don't do this foolish thing. It will be terribly painful if you hurt yourself, you will die. So, like you see, here, these 5 horses are compared to our 5 senses. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. And the ropes are compared to mind. And the driver is compared to the intelligence. Here, in this picture, is intelligence in control of the mind or not? Is the driver in control of the ropes? No, because the intelligence is a weak driver. So we have to make the intelligence strong. Like here you see, the horses are the 5 senses, mind are the ropes, intelligence is the driver, and soul is the passenger. You are the person, soul, the passenger. This is from Katha Upanishad. This beautiful example is given. So here is a secret revealed in this Katha Upanishad. It says that if you strengthen your intelligence, which means you will strengthen your willpower by that, then you can learn, you can actually subdue the mind and senses. You can make right choices. So anybody has an idea, how do you strengthen your spiritual intelligence? This is not talking about your IQ. Even if you have 150 or 160 IQ, that's not intelligence being spoken here. This is actually discriminative intelligence. To know what is short-term, pleasure, what is long-term, what is good for you in the long run, what is hitakarak, what is hanikarak, what is good, what is bad, what is pure, what is impure, what will benefit me, what will not benefit me. So to discriminate what is temporary, what is eternal. So that type of intelligence is called discriminative intelligence, Viveka Buddhi. So the Viveka Buddhi, how do you increase it? Anybody? You have any clue on how you can increase your Viveka Buddhi to be able to get the clarity to see, yes, this is what I should do. Like I showed the video now. I showed you distinctly from both sides, isn't it? You saw one fellow was making all right choices. Another fellow was making all wrong choices. So how will you know what the, yes, there is a hand up there, yeah. He's saying self-introspection, he says, yeah. Self-introspection. Give him an applause. Very good. Yeah. So you can begin with knowing yourself first, and then knowing others. Eventually you can know. So I was telling you about the smartphone. Does the smartphone serve your purpose or smartphone swallows your time? Which one is true? That is why we are having the seminar on decision making. Correct, no? So here you see, she's able to say no to the smartphone during her exams. She's able to keep it in the locker and lock it up. Because if it's outside right on the table, you will tend to put your hand there. You lock it up. Only 1 or 2 hours in a day you use it, other times don't. Like one of the students showed me, that student has a button phone. Simple button phone. Now recently one newspaper article has come, number of this keypad phones has increased again. Increasing. People are switching back to keypad phone. You know why? Because a lot of money scams are happening. A lot of cheating is happening. People are returning to the keyboard. So this student had both phones. He had a smartphone, he had a keypad phone. He said, most of the day I use only keypad phone. And smartphone I use only 1 or 2 hours a day. See, he has 2 phones also. He's showing. So that way the smartphone can be your servant. You won't become smartphone servant. So actually, we can see that our mind has many filters. Somebody thinks, I am very intelligent, I am very rich, I am a man. So you actually are the resident of this body. This body is only like a dress, that Krishna says here. See, this is what I told you. IQ tells you what you see and think about things. EQ tells you how you feel about yourself and others. But here is the SQ. Why you live your life the way you do. What is the meaning of life, purpose of life? That's a very broad aspect of life. Here I want to tell you something very important. You see, if a child is playing with making some sandcastle in an ocean beach, later on the evening, parents come and say, "Beta, it's getting dark now. We are going home." He will just dust his hand and go away. Correct, no? With parents, he's a child's relationship with the ocean beach or with the parents. The parents, and the relationship with the ocean beach is just for one evening. Huh? Similarly, in our life, all of us, if you see in this world, we come, we become an engineer or a doctor or a chartered accountant or a lawyer or something like that. We spend through our life. And then at a certain stage, we give up that. And then you have seen your grandfather, grandmother, one by one, everybody passes in this world. So Lord Krishna told Arjuna, you should know what life is all about. He said the soul, the real resident of the body, you cannot be cut with scissor. You cannot burn with fire. You cannot moisten with water. You cannot dry with air. The soul can never be created. The soul can neither be destroyed. Soul leaves the body at the time of death. He's the one who is the prime mover of this body. This body is simply a dress over the soul. Like today, you're all wearing one dress. Tomorrow, you'll wear another dress. Similarly, the soul changes the body. So, and the soul doesn't belong to this material realm. It belongs to a spiritual realm. In the spiritual realm, all souls are pure. Just like rainwater is pure in the sky, isn't it? When it comes to the ground, it becomes muddy. Similarly, when we all come to this world, we have become covered by the mind. The soul is covered by the mind. And all the problems are where? In the mind only. So right now, you are a combination of three things: body, mind, soul. Out of the three, which is one? Which is you? Are you body or mind or soul? You are the soul. And you have these two things, body and mind. Why God has given you these two things? In the mind, you have desires. And with the body, you execute the desires. Say, for example, in my mind, I have a desire to play piano. And I have a body. I'll go out and purchase a piano and I'll play with my body. So I exercise my desires in the mind through the body. So if you know this, at least this much you can know that the mind currently has a lot of impure scripts which are pushing me to make the wrong choices. Like that fellow was making many wrong choices. So the mind has to be cleansed. So see your mind's role in choices and decisions that you make, that we will see now. Here you see, how do you master your mindset and overcome self-deception? See, there are 5 ways your mind can make narratives about you. Look at this, these two girls here. Both are watching into there. One is looking at the social media. Both are looking for likes and dislikes, and they're getting affected by it. So we all are living in a world now where we very much depend on social validation. What society's validation? What society thinks about me? How do I look like? How is my, my performance? So most people become so much bogged by their performance in every aspect of their life. They mostly do drama for others rather than being one, truly one. So here, if you see, the mind is a misjudger. The inability to acknowledge anything positive about yourself, like she's depressed here, as you see, because she's seeing many people are criticizing. So what is the solution I have given below? Don't ruminate on past failures with an unforgiving lens. Which means, if people do commit mistakes, everybody commit mistakes sometime or other. Learn from the mistakes and look at the progressive road ahead. That's the right thing to do. Or call yourself out and practice psychological distancing to think rationally. Like this lady is saying this to this fellow, why is he doing psychological distancing? Because he's a discouraging fellow. Or, somebody who is not uplifting, you should keep away from them. Because those who laugh at you, ridicule you, find fault with you always, and they derive fun in doing so, you should keep a long distance from them. Well, sometimes, occasionally, your good friends also may do that, and just to stimulate you or something. But if somebody really is a negative viewer, so one should keep away and do distancing, so, emotional distancing. So 2 things here. You learn 2 lessons in this. Don't misjudge about yourself based on what others tell you who you are. You actually, your relation is with your parents and with God and your teacher. And there are many others around you in this world. You cannot please everybody, can you? It's not possible. You heard the story of the father and the son who went to the market and purchased a donkey, And the son told the father, Papa, you are very elderly, you sit in the donkey. And all people commented, some people, look at the father, he is sitting comfortably and making the son walk. Then the father actually told the son, he put the son on the donkey and he walked there. Some people said, look at this arrogant son. He is sitting and not letting the father sit, they said. Then both father and son sat and went. Some people said, look at these people, how cruel they are. Both are sitting on the donkey, causing pain to the poor animal. Then both father and son decided to lift the donkey above their shoulder. One fellow lifted the front two legs and other two legs they were carrying. And some people laughed and said, did you purchase donkey for this? To lift it up above your head. So these fellows totally got confused. They didn't know which one to do. Because there will always be people commenting about you all around. So whom are you trying to please in your life? You have your parents, you have your teacher, you have God. So are you aligning with? That is why you should know where is the compass in life. The compass is the sacred text. For example, Gita, wisdom is going all across the globe now because many, many big management gurus and learned people are referring to that because it gives direction on how to make the right choices in life. You will get the discriminating ability. So don't misjudge about yourself. So two things I told you. Do not forget the solution part. Solution I told you, in case you committed mistake, learn from the mistake and look at a progressive route ahead. That's one thing I told you. Second thing, distance emotionally yourself from those who criticize you and those who are discouraging you. Associate with friends who are uplifting. Second thing, victimizer. Thinking that the universe is conspiring against you fills your mind with excuses. Victimizer means it makes you think that, oh, I can't do that. I don't have that talent. I don't have that ability. But think about it. What about learning that ability? What about cultivating that ability? Now, practice cognitive thinking. Focus more on what you can do and what you can change. Why don't you think like this? Because God has gifted all of us with something. And if you take if you go an extra mile, you can do things which you might otherwise not be doing before. So, you all might have heard about comfort zone. After that, stretch zone, then panic zone. You should keep yourself in which zone? If you keep yourself in comfort zone is coffin. It's boring. And if you keep yourself in panic zone, that is nightmare. Yeah. So you have to keep yourself in stretch. Because in stretch zone, there is a sense of challenge and adventure and thrill and sense of accomplishment. So whatever you can generally do, touch yourself a little more. Misguided protector, you see. This kind of mindset makes you think that, oh, no, you can't take up so much. Please cool down, relax. Don't take so much risk. Like that, one part of your mind says, you may get failure or whatever. You heard the saying, the ships are safe in the harbor, but they are not meant for staying in the harbor. Is it not true? They're supposed to sail. Even if there's a storm, you have to prepare for the storm and then sail in the ocean, not that you stay in the harbor. So similarly, many of us have hidden potentials which we never bring them out. We generally play safe, thinking that so-called playing safe. It's foolishness, actually. So one should be willing to take some risks and make an effort. This is another thing. The unhealthy drive to keep on going like a workaholic. It's unfulfilling treadmill of achievement addiction. Like look at the picture of that rat race. Many people actually decide their goals after seeing others. Like I was in one of the mobile companies, the top 12 people attended. We sat in a round table and they were all having a very, very serious stress problem. So I told them that I will do a seminar on stress management. So during the class itself, they were attending the phone calls. I told them, sir, at least during this time, don't stress yourself. You are attending a stress management seminar. And they said, what to do? We have to do so many things. And one of them is working 16 to 17 hours a day. So he was telling, I'm getting overworked. And then I asked why. He said, when I look at other fellows working, I feel that I'll be what you call a FOMO, isn't it? FOMO principle. Fear of missing out. I'll be missed out and they will get ahead of me. So it's unhealthy comparison. One important thing is, so many of you are sitting here. If you think carefully, every one of you have a unique face cut. You see, God has given you a unique face cut. You didn't design your face. Did any of you cut your face? God has cut it for you. Huh? He's given you a face, your skin, pigment of your skin color, the family in which you are born. Huh? Similarly, you physically and mentally also, we all have your limits. Huh? Like, somebody's body is like a Luna, somebody's body is like a Maruti, somebody's body is like a Benz, somebody's body is like a helicopter. Huh? Different people have different abilities. There are people more intelligent than you, there are people less intelligent than you. Huh? There are people more handsome than you, there are people less handsome than you. There are people more richer than you, there are some less richer than you. Do you all agree? From both sides. So you should know realistically, I am here now. How much can I improve? Huh? Like, for example, um, say, for example, somebody decides, I want to become fair. How much fair and lovely you can put? Huh? Can you put 1 inch thick fair and lovely? So that you will become fair. Huh? So there is a limit for that. You agree? There's a limit. In same manner, you study also. Do your best, and let God do the rest. And you can't burn out. Like a cat cannot go to the kitchen and take the firewood and strips in his body and look in the mirror and think, am I a tiger now? Huh? He doesn't. Cat is a cat. Huh? So don't exert yourself too much, because nowadays people, why they commit suicide? Because physically they are not able to achieve what they are greedy for. And therefore they commit suicide, comparing with others. One most important lesson from here you should carry home with you today is, every one of you is like a unique flower. Huh? Like you take a jasmine. What is specialty of jasmine? Fragrance. Huh? What is specialty of sunflower? Sunflower is beautiful. You've seen that? Gerbera flower or sunflower. Huh? What is specialty of lotus? There's a lot of honey in the lotus. Huh? So every flower has some unique quality. Huh? Similarly, you take a cuckoo or a peacock. Cuckoos are famous for voice, singing, and peacocks are famous for dancing. Correct? Now, horses are famous for running. Dogs are famous for barking. Isn't it? Everybody has some unique ability. Correct? No? But similarly, even every one of you sitting here, you have your unique abilities, God gifted ability. Try to develop in that area. Huh? Develop in that area and be happy with God gifted ability. Somebody is good in music. Somebody is good in maths. Somebody is good in this. So don't make unhealthy comparison with others and hurt yourself. And don't become a ringmaster workaholic. Huh? Stop wearing busy as a badge of honor. Huh? Set healthy boundaries for yourself. Why I'm saying healthy boundaries? I don't say don't stretch. I already told you should be in stretch zone. Correct, no? But if you're going beyond stretch zone, you're going to which zone? Panic zone. There you will burn out yourself. Huh? Okay, see, another syndrome of the mind is seeking validation by prioritizing the needs of others to be more than your own. It drives you crazy. This is what I told you. So realize that your value is not linked to how others view you. Huh? So you don't have to dance according to the tune of the world around you. Huh? You can't. In those days, I remember in my school days, I told my father that I need a bell bottom. My father asked, what is a bell bottom? So he called the tailor. Tailor measured from here. I said, my leg is here, this must double the size. My father said, hey, what is this? You are going to wear like females wear this lanka, we call it, not like that. What do you call that? Like that, you're going to wear like that? It's generally men wear pants, he said. I said, no, this is the latest fashion. Of course, I wore it for some time. After 6 months, it was gone after that. But many times, how many of you agree that we tend to dance according to the tune of the world around us? Correct? The world makes us dance, correct now? So, and if you are more and more, you are going to need validation from the world around you, you will feel a lot of pain by that. And what will happen to you is the important things which you need to do in life will be at the mercy of useless things. You will see that. Because, what will she think? What will he think? What will they think? I have to prove myself. I am also like them. That's what is this point. So you cannot get certification from everybody in the world the way you want. And the problem is through social media now. social media has caused a tremendous damage. I don't know how many of you have seen the video of the Facebook company owner was very strongly taken to task recently. You saw the video, any of you? Yeah. Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, they did investigation and they scolded him. All the parents came together uh, and how the social media has caused a suicide and everything. Like, for example, one boy got 18 lakh per annum job. So immediately he sent to his girlfriend that, I got a job 18 lakh per annum. It was a group in which he sent it. She replied back saying that, what a great deal. You don't know your other friend got 25 lakh per annum. Like that she said. And this fellow committed suicide because of that. Huh? He couldn't take it because it was it was a WhatsApp group. He thought, what will others think of me? Huh? So these kind of problems are increasing in the world. So don't live in a dream world. Of course, you all are, many of you are 13 to 19 is the age where people live in a dream world. Huh? And then afterwards, when you get into profession, gradually you come to ground level. You can have your head in the clouds, but have your leg on the ground. Yeah. Yeah. Here is 5. These are the 5 things I told you now. Huh? Till now, I showed you that. This is what one of them rightly said. First, you understand yourself, who you are. I told you, you are not just this body which you see in the mirror. Who are you? You are a combination of 3 things I told you: soul, mind, and body. Yeah. At the time of death, only body is left behind, but the soul covered by the mind comes out. If somebody commits suicide, you know what happens? The soul covered by the mind comes out, and he does not have the bodily instrument. That means somebody is eating very nice food. You also want to eat, but you can't eat. Why? Because you don't have the bodily instrument. Hmm? And the ghost, they become a ghost for quite some period of time, after which they have to get one more body after that. The body is actually a hardware, and the mind is software. And the soul carries both the software and hardware and moves around different places. And what is the reason for its moving around? As I told you, this is a pure spiritual plane. This is a material plane. When you fall from spiritual plane to material plane, you try to enjoy different things. And then when you purify your mind and come to this, then you are happy forever. Coming back to. So that's why understand who you are, understand the other people around you, and then learn to communicate effectively with the world around you. And then living in your world means you also have in your own world means what? Write down what is very important for you. What things you want to focus on and what things you don't want to get diverted or distracted by. That is the 4th one. And 5th one is maintain your health, your bodily health, mental health. Be successful and be happy. So you need a healthy mind. So, and you need a balance in your work and life also. And also, don't carry office to home and home to office. It is said, give due importance to both. And this is what I told you a few minutes ago. See, in the top, there is conscious mind, and below, there is subconscious mind. And outside, there are 5 senses. So, conscious mind means you can choose your thoughts, you can accept or reject. Whereas subconscious, what example I gave you for that? Anybody remembers? Watchman, exactly. Like the example of watchman. Watchman discriminates whom to allow, whom not to allow. Whereas the subconscious mind, I gave another example. Yeah? Now, earth, like the sowing of the seed. Whatever seed you sow, the earth will accept that. So it accepts everything. It cannot reject. It can't differentiate. It's like a memory store. And it is affected by the suggestions. So if you know this, these 2 examples I gave you, now I'm coming to a very important point here, the solution part here. So your body and your mind has 2 parts, subconscious mind and conscious mind. Conscious mind comes in touch with the outside world around you through the senses. Like, like I see a poster on the road while going, my mind senses capture and gives it to the mind. So mind is like this one. And these are the 5 senses. All the senses give input to the mind. And mind is like a storehouse of thoughts, experiences, impressions. Everything is stored in the mind, in the conscious mind. So now I am going to give you an acronym which will be very valuable for you, the prayer acronym, and how to give positive affirmations. And that will help you in making the right choices and decisions. See, here, scientists have found out that the repetition is the mother of perfection. You heard the saying, the practice makes a man Perfect, yeah. So in the video that I showed you, you saw both the fellows. One fellow was repeatedly making what choices? Good choices. Other fellow was making repeatedly bad choices. So because of that repetition, eventually they both became perfect in their own field. In the same manner, all of us are becoming expert in getting distracted nowadays because we repeatedly distract ourselves. For example, I'm doing some work on the computer. Like that, some comes up. Then I get distracted. Once, twice, thrice. Then I become expert in what? Getting distracted always. Then we cannot control ourselves because that's what I have been doing repeatedly. So, therefore, we should repeatedly do what? The right behavior or wrong behavior? Right behavior. Huh? So, repetition is the mother of perfection. Even when we are learning a skill, we repeat the technique several times to acquire mastery over a skill. Like, for example, you play cricket or you play harmonium, or you play tabla, or you are doing Bharatanatyam, you are learning. Anything you do, it requires many years of practice. That's how you become a very expert. You can clearly see that those who have been practicing for quite some time, their performance also is very special, isn't it? So when you repeat positive affirmations, you are saturating the subconscious mind with positive tendencies, which in time will come to be translated into their material equivalent. This is the most important point here. You have to give positive affirmations to your subconscious mind. And the best time to give it is the early morning hours. When you give up your sleep, you take a bath, you come and sit in the meditative posture. It's a very good time to give positive inputs to the mind. See, here is a prayer acronym. Let's go one by one. See, although text appears to be a lot, but the matter is simple. The first one is a prayer. Like it says, like Vishnu Sahasranam is said, mentioned here. But otherwise, we chant this Maha Mantra. In every religion, you will find, for example, the Jains have this Navakar mantra, they chant. Christians chant this Hail Mary, they chant. Muslims also chant namaz. They also have a rosary. Like I chant a Hare Krishna mantra. Some of you may be knowing that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. See, the beauty of this is what? When you repeat this mantra, then it is very easy for the subconscious mind to receive it. Because when you speak something changing constantly, then the conscious mind comes into picture. Because conscious mind, what it does, discriminates, correct, no? What to accept, what not to accept. Whereas the subconscious mind just receives. So the same mantra you are chanting repeatedly, then the conscious mind tells bye-bye. Okay, now I don't have to be available now because no decision has to be made now. Then subconscious mind can receive this pure vibrations. So then the subconscious mind becomes surcharged with this positivity of the mantra. I'll just show you one small video clip from American research about this chant, what they have.
Indeed, the Vedas themselves are sound vibrations in literary form and carry a profound message. Spiritual disciplines recommend meditational practices such as silent meditation, silent recitation of mantras, and also the verbal repetition of specific mantras out loud. A clinical test of the benefits of mantra chanting was performed on 3 groups of 62 subjects, males and females of average age 25. They chanted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 25 minutes each day under strict clinical supervision. Results showed that regular chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra reduces stress and depression and helps reduce bad habits and addictions. These results formed a PhD thesis at Florida State University.
You saw that? What all it reduces chanting Hare Krishna, he said? Stress. What else he said? Addictions, bad habits, isn't it? Depression, all that is gone. Because it's repetition, And it has a tremendous power to surcharge our subconscious mind. See, when subconscious mind becomes filled with positivity, then you naturally become a very cheerful person, confident person, courageous person, and others cannot shake you very easily. But when you live in your conscious mind superficially, then people can alter your mindset very easily. You may be smiling now, next moment you may be crying. Now, you got some good results in one subject, you are jumping up and down, then another paper result comes, which was poor, then you'll start crying. People who live very superficially. So that is why the positive affirmations with repetition is very important. The second thing is the attitude. The the devotee always prays for happiness. Because the stronger the attitude of the receipt, the more one will be crystal clear in the object of prayers before one's mind's eyes. A positive attitude of receipt is a prerequisite for effective visualization. What is this attitude? Positive attitude means, say you go to a garden. Somebody says, oh, this garden is full of fragrant roses. Somebody else says, oh, this garden is full of thorny bushes. Who is true? First or second? Both are true. Because in the midst of thorny bushes only you get roses. Both are true. But what do you prefer to see? Do you prefer to see the roses, or do you prefer to see the thorny bushes? Like, look at the ocean now. Is ocean friend of the boat or ocean enemy to boat? The answer is it depends. If the ocean water enters into boat, then the water becomes an enemy. If the ocean water doesn't enter, it actually helps the boat to steer and go to the other side. Is it not true? That means this world is always full of plus minus. So how you can see the plus, that is actually your right attitude. It's also again a question of practice. Regularly seeing. So in Gita, Lord Krishna teaches, don't see what you don't have. See what you have. Generally what we do, we don't see what we have, we only see what others have. And that is how we hurt ourselves more and more. See what are the potentials in you which you have kept underutilized. And then the next one, the yield, he says, what is yield? When you do the prayer, we understand that this prayer is actually offered to the Supreme Almighty. Although the Supreme Almighty may be called by different names, you call him as Krishna, or Rama, or Allah, or Jehovah, different names he may be called, just like the sun is called by different names, like Surya, Dinakar, Bhaskar, Ravi, and different names like that. But we are addressing to that one Supreme Being who is the source of everything. And you are trapping energy from that Supreme Being. Just like, for example, now the world knows that the more you come in touch with the sunlight, the more you come in touch with the nature, the more you come in touch with the water bodies, the more you come in touch with fresh air. All these are enhancing your prana. Correct or not? Even the educated modern day people have come to understand. And that is why morning people get up and try to go close to nature. Nature is a mother, isn't it? And God is the father, nature is a mother. They come closer. In the same manner, when you are doing the prayer, it's actually a universal prayer when you are chanting the name. So that time when the mind is yielding and depending, it's like Arjuna depending on Krishna, for example. So he's drawing the support. He is one, like Krishna is infinity. 1 plus infinity is? How much? It's infinity. It's infinity. So you can tap the power of God by yielding. And then that emotion is actually the bhakti yoga, we call it, the emotion of devotion. And what is the rebirth? A new personality is born in you. Like a cruel person becomes a compassionate person. Like a crying Arjuna became confident Arjuna, isn't it? A lazy student became a enthusiastic student. A junk food eater started eating salads. It's like that. That's a rebirth. Changed. How many of you would like to see a changed personality in you? Sure? Yeah, isn't it? So you can make hard decisions right in the beginning. That strength you get by the prayer. In this way, prayer is actually a thought management technique. It actually, just like the students of Florida State University were praying now, they were chanting. You saw that, isn't it? So in this way, mind management actually means being careful of what kind of thoughts I am feeding in. Am I feeding pure, positive, godly thoughts and taking advantage of my mind rather than I'm not hurting myself with the mind. Yeah. So you get help through this prayer. Like Arjuna asked for Krishna for this help in the 2.7, as I told you. He's saying here, you see, now I am confused about my duty, my Lord. and have lost all composure. I'm asking you for certain what is best for me. Now I'm your disciple, soul surrendered into you. Please instruct me. So this prayer has a very tremendous power. So we sing it. We also recite it like japam. Like I have this japamala I carry with me always. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this directly goes to subconscious mind and purifies and calms the mind. It will help you remain cheerful, fresh all day. Anytime your mind is oscillating too much, vibrating, you just sit in the park and then just chant with your fingers. Like we chant the Gayatri 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in each. Just chant one mantra in this. So in this way, if you make it a practice, you can experience it yourself. Pray for the best, prepare for the worst, and expect the unexpected, he says. Because life will always throw challenges. Don't expect smooth sailing in life. Let life, Krishna told Arjuna, Arjuna, I don't say you are my devotee, you won't have any problems. He said, if you have problems, you pray to me, I will be there for you. He said. So focus on which one? What you can control, what is within your reach. Don't unnecessarily, there are many things in your reach, you see. For example, doing your best. Did you all hear about the example of Jatayu fighting with Ravana? How many of you heard about it? Did he win Ravana or did he lose? He lost in one sense because he was a very old eagle. And when Ravana was trying to take away Sita, Jatayu told Ravana that you can't take her as long as I am alive. So with his claws, he tore his kavach, Ravana's kavach. With his beaks, he killed the mule which was drawing the Pushpaka Viman. Then Ravana understood this fellow was old eagle, but still very mighty one. So he took his sword and he cut off one of the wings. And Jatayu lost the balance coming down. Sita was loudly wailing. Again he flew up. With one wing, he was slapping Ravana continuously. Then Ravana cut that wing also. Then when Jatayu fell down, Ravana flew away. But Lord Ram told Jatayu one very important lesson which is directly relevant to our lives. He said, Jatayu, although you didn't win the battle, you gave your best. That was the point. So at this very evening, I will send you to spiritual world. Lord Rama told him. Which means God only sees whether you are doing are you giving your best? Many of us don't give our best. Instead of giving our best, we are always thinking, what is that fellow's best? What is this fellow? We are always looking around. So look at your own focus. Just like the small squirrel who was making Setubandha, you know that fellow was doing his best. Hanuman was doing his best. Whose capacity is big? Hanuman or squirrel? No, Hanuman's capacity is very big. Squirrel's capacity is small. But Lord Ram appreciated whom? Hanuman or squirrel? Squirrel. Why he is appreciated? What's the reason? Because he was doing his best. That is the point. So doing your best. How I talk to myself. See, how I talk to myself means what? Are you talking negative about yourself? Or you are trying to understand the God-given gifts to you? Talk positively. Remembering the good things that you received in your life. See, you all have a proper body, you have good education, you're born in a good family, you are able to eat 3 times food in a day. There are people who don't get even 1 food in 3 days also. And we are getting 3 food in 1 day. Isn't it? There are so many things you are gifted with. Feel grateful for that. Feeling my feelings, moving my body. Moving my body means don't be lethargic. Spending time with nature, eating nutritious foods, getting enough sleep, trying to new things and ideas, asking for help, all these things. See, this is a very nice thing I liked. Where is that? If you see the right side one, the white cloud shows what you should focus on. That is in your control. And the other clouds, what you see, they are all not in your control. What other people do, what making others think the same way as you do. What other people say. This is one thing that students waste a lot of time with. Hey, you don't agree with me? Then sit here. 1 hour I will push you to agree with what I say. What is my opinion? What other people say or do about you. Hey, you said I'm not smart. I'll prove to you I'm smart. Come here. People waste a lot of time fixing mental health struggles of others. See, if somebody is too much struggling with mind, they may even be directed to a doctor. Sometimes we spend too much of time with these things. So in this way, focus on things. Do I have information to decide? Time to decide? How attached am I to the output which will come? How do I feel? So these are some of the very important things for you. You should know the difference between what is urgent and what is important in your life. Long term, short term. I already told you about this. What is ethical and unethical? Huh? You have to win your argument sometimes, but not at the cost of breaking the hearts of others. Sometimes your friend is making a wrong argument. You want to correct your friend, but there has to be some kind of gentleness in the way we correct. And if they stick on to their argument, we can leave them because they will experience in life and then come to a point where they will learn, rather than we breaking their hearts. So one should know while making art. For example, two friends were arguing, which is good? Ayurvedic medicine is good or allopathy is good? So one of them said, how many of you say Ayurvedic is best? There are only few hands up. How many say allopathy is best? Others, right now, say two friends argue. So when they came to my founder of our society, Prabhupada, Swami Prabhupada, he said, do whatever is needful, he said. He said, you want to quickly treat a disease, then allopathy. Then if you want a long-term welfare for the body, then Ayurvedic is good. Don't unnecessarily sit and waste 2 hours arguing which one is good. Isn't it? There are many things we argue like that. If it is high priority, urgent, just do it. If it is not urgent, then make time for it. So you should know which one to delegate. Actually, there are 4 Ds. I'm not explaining it because it will take a little while. Like the 4 Ds. Do, decide, delegate, and delete. There are activities which you may be doing which you don't have to do at all. Can anybody name one activity? Spending too much time with social media, we can delete. There are many things. So like that, activities which you think you are wasting your time, you can delete them. And delegate means there are some things which you are doing, you can get it done from somebody. You don't have to do it yourself. That's delegate. And then do means very important things, you do it yourself. And then decide means you plan ahead of time. According to in which Desh Kala Patra we call it. Which time what should be done. The beginning of the year, you start studying, I told you, that's the right time to begin. And also, actually, there are some tips from Gita I have given. It's getting late, so I will stop here. Did I told you, right? Garbage in, garbage out. Good in, good out. So subconscious mind, whatever you give, it will take it. You have to decide what to give. These are the things you give input. The books you read, the movies you watch. If you watch horror movies, you will get dangerous dreams. Like some of my friends watched a ghost movie. In the night, suddenly from the window, he saw a skeleton. Like that. Isn't it? So what kind of movies you watch? What kind of books you read? Some people read detective novels. In America, I heard that one detective novel was published. After that, 10 thefts happened. All the thieves used the technique from that book. After that, the book was banned after that. Because when people read a book, they also try to implement. If you read Gita, you may implement some good things in your life. What kind of music you hear. I can just show you in half a minute what happens with the kind of music you hear. See, this is a scientific experiment they have done. You can see this.
The film you're about to see has no characters.
The music patterns are showing.
If you share a little of your imagination, it is a film to describe to you the effect of cymatic frequencies on matter.
Beautiful patterns are formed when you make sweet music. So you saw that? Nice patterns are formed due to sweet music. Now he's going to put bass guitar now. He's going to put 120 decibels. Now you see here. When you go for very high decibel sound, drums or bass guitar, if you do, then it gets confused. You can see that. Beautiful patterns are not formed. They get agitated, you will see. When it's beating, see how the water bends, you can see it. Besides bending. So most of your body is made up of what? So your body also will bend like this. We hear this kind of. That's why they do break dance, I think. Is it? Huh? So therefore, that disturbs your biological rhythm. Huh? But when you hear very mild, beautiful music, you saw the beautiful patterns. Your brain also forms patterns like that when you hear. So I will sing three mantras I will sing. You can try to repeat as much as we can. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Everybody. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. You can see this. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Everybody together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. So, when you sing like this, beautiful patterns are formed in the mind, in the brain. And that is very calming. It makes even the negative and stressful impressions you have created in the course of the day will be calmed when you sing like this. It's music. And the kind of friendships you keep, it should be uplifting friendship, I told you. Your friend should encourage you, uplift you, and you learn something good from them. Not that they discourage you, mock at you, ridicule you, and criticize you. So, start from bad habits, supplement with good habits, and stay away from tempting environments. These are 3S formula for, converting your bad habits into good habits. We don't say give up all habits. Learn good habits, supplement with good habits. So, this is a method for cultivating any habit you want to cultivate. Set milestones, have a role model, and have equal friends to encourage you. Like watermelon, you can't eat in one go, but you set milestones, which means make it slices. Any good habit can be learned. And you have a role model like your Abhishek Zabresar is your role model, isn't it? So, and you have your peers who encourage you. Yeah. So the last slide, you can see, daily meditation, expert guidance, any problem breaking down to small chunks, work with deadlines. Right says your fear, don't fear too much about things, stay from negative. These are some of the things I shared with you. So I will stop with this because if I speak on cultivating sattva, it will take another time. But I would like to take some questions I can take. Yeah, if anybody wants to ask any questions, we can give this mic to them.
So just open that VLC file. That file is creating a problem. VLC file. The problem is on the VLC file. It will work. Perfect. Now it will work. The file is open. Second, pass on the mic. No, we'll start this. Hello. Huh. This will work.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Thank you.
Mic pass on.
If anyone has question, please raise the hand. Mic will come to you.
You can see this one slide, you can see, it will be helpful. I am concluding with the ABCD formula, okay. Please repeat. A for association, B for Bhagavad Gita, C for chanting, D for devotional diet. So, A for association means just like you all heard something today interesting, or something you learned today. So, this kind of programs are available. I have also, if you go to YouTube and put Radheshyamdas and put focus. Last time sir called me for a topic of focus and concentration. Yeah. Or you put the topic mind, you will get many lectures. I have spoken to students in IITs, NITs and other places. So here also I came, twice I came. Twice I have come. This is the third time. So you can take advantage of those kind of talks, and also you can also get opportunity to attend we have 6-session courses. There is a discover yourself. If you just put Radheshyamdas discover yourself, you can discover who you are. Huh? There's a 8-session available in the YouTube. You can check it. And B for Bhagavad Gita, just read 1 page a day. We have Bhagavad Gita as it is. It's called as Bhagavad Gita as it is by Srila Prabhupada. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Very, it's available at the entrance. You can have a copy. Just read 1 page a day. You will become very intelligent. Your intelligence will get strong. Then you can control the mind and senses. As I showed you that chariot example. Third one is chanting, as I told you, the chanting on the japa beads. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So it's a well-researched and proven method across the globe. From all countries, people have benefited from this. The fourth is the devotional diet. Is called prasadam, we call it. That which is cooked with love and devotion and offered to God, we call as prasadam. As far as you are concerned, you can do very simple. You just give the food and chant the Hare Krishna and pray to God and just thank Him for what He has given you. You know, scientists can give you electronic chips. They can't give you potato chips. Isn't it? Because only God alone gives the food. So thank Him for that. Any questions?
Sir, my question is, all we saw, we have seen somewhere and tried to implement also. But the basic is how we are firm, and firmness derives from we believe on something. Now, as per my experience from this 1 to 2 years, I have tried trying to introspect me. I'm not able to believe in something. I've started reading Bhagavad Gita also. So every bit it is written that you should believe in Krishna. But for me, Krishna is not a person. It's not.
You can start on the basic. Does God exist? You can start with that.
Yeah, for me,
you start with the very fundamental questions. I told you about the Discover Yourself course. The first session in Discover Yourself course is, does God exist? You start with that. What is the proof that somebody won't talk about Krishna? Just talk about God. We say that God is the source of everything. What is the proof for that? So there are a dozen ways in which it is established. In that you just put discover yourself, Radheshyamdas. You can see that. And then begin with that. Then you go to what is soul. Then you talk about karma. So I will only tell you that you only accept things logically. You don't have to believe in anything.
Yes.
No, when you talk about belief means, you're just, it can be blind faith also.
So what to believe in? Because self-believing takes a lot of time. Because self-doubts are normal. So what should we believe in?
You should only believe in things which you are able to practically see. Like I'll tell you a very simple thing. Life always comes from life only. I say that. You see, a man and woman are uniting and they're producing a baby. Dog is uniting and producing puppies. You can say mosquitoes are producing millions of mosquitoes. Have you ever seen one living form coming from dead matter?
No.
No. So life always, like your father, his father, his father, if you go up, 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 did your the first human being or first father or somebody, did they come from stone chunk or from some living person?
Living person.
Yeah. So like this only, I have presented all the truths in that course. And
Okay.
every one of the points I make, they are very logical, they are very sound. You can check it yourself, discover yourself. Okay.
Yes.
And you can write to me. I can tell my this thing also email. I can just put it. You can, if any of you want to ask me a question, you can write it. Yes. Can write with this. Okay. I'll take another one this time. Yeah. You can write to this. Any one of those emails you write, you can answer their questions. And the course which I told you, I will just, you can.
Next question.
Next
Anyone?
question.
Sir, as you are IITian, with a huge respect, you have achieved a great success in your life. Like other IITians, they would have, you would have worked and earned a lot in your life.
Where is the mic? Where is it? Okay. Yeah, okay.
As you are IITian, with a huge respect, you have achieved a great successful in your life. Like other IITians, you would have worked and earned a lot in your life and lived a better life like other IITians do.
I did for about 3-4 years. I did.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
what is the reason that you became a monk?
I actually had a desire to study and teach Gita when I was in my 5th standard. I was thinking that this knowledge is so wonderful. I used to recite shlokas and the Vishnu Sahasranamam and all that I used to do. I come from a family of Shastris families in South India. My grandfather was a Shastri. So, but my father told me that you should first become an engineer or a doctor or a chartered accountant, something you should do in life before you can become a monk. So I had a very strong desire to be a monk even when I was in my 5th standard. Then in my 7th, 8th standard, I again made an attempt. I told my father, can I go now? He told me that my only expectation from you is you become educated fellow, earn a degree. After that, you do what you want. So what I've been doing was, I did my education. I went to IIT, earned my degree. I did job. I had 3 sisters also. I settled them all after marriage. Then I asked my father, now what do you say? Can I go now? He said, yes, now you can go. He allowed me to go. So I was thinking, I just don't want to do my studies and, take a job and just make money and, I will have a family and children and then my job and everything about myself only. I should do something to the world. People are suffering so much. And what is the best gift we can give them? See, if I give food to somebody today, he'll again come back to me for food tomorrow. If you give him for a week, next week he will come. Whole life you give him food, next time he'll be reborn and say, sir, I'm reborn now, please give me food. Isn't it? Similarly, what else can we do? Even if you give a job to somebody, after some time people become greedy for more money also. Then I understood that actually when one teaches Bhagavad Gita, people, you get the utmost satisfaction. The soul satisfaction is the ultimate in relation to God. Like Pandavas, when they had to be in the forest, they were peacefully in the forest. When Krishna told them to rule the world, they were ruling the world. At all times, they were virtuous, isn't it? On the other hand, Duryodhana, if you see, even when Pandavas were in the forest, he was doing all kinds of diplomatic tricks to trouble the Pandavas. Because, with God we flourish, without God we perish. So that's why I was very convinced that this knowledge is ultimate. We should practice and teach it. So now I travel to US for 3 months in a year. I travel, and then I'm a president in Pune and in Hyderabad, 2 places. So these 2 temples I spend like one week to 10 days time. And then across the country here in India, I go to 15 places, 15 prominent cities. I go to schools, I go to colleges, I go to companies for giving corporate seminars, I do home programs, but everywhere people are taking to this process, I can clearly see the quality improvement in their lives by taking this knowledge. So I felt that this ultimately everybody is looking for happiness, correct? No?
Yes.
But this is talking about eternal happiness. You can be happy now and happy forever.
Yes.
Whereas if I just become an engineer and then IIT engineer and I go to America and join Microsoft, I have a big fat salary and I just stay at home. I am just taking care of my own selfish needs. What am I doing for the world? What do you think? It makes sense?
No.
It doesn't make sense to you?
No, sir.
Then what makes sense to you? You can tell me. So you say that everybody should take care of themselves only, not bother about the world around.
No.
They should not bother.
No, you are right, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
And why most of the IITs become monk?
No, not that. See, there are only few IITians who become monks. Like if you see in IIT, we have like 8,000 people in IIT. Many of the IITians, they go for, they go abroad and they study further. They become entrepreneurs. They start. How much percentage of our country is monks? If you see, Indian population is 150 crores.
Yes.
Correct, no?
Yes.
Out of 150 crores, not even 1% is monks. If you see, we have doctors, we have chartered accountants, we have engineers. Don't you think there is a need for monks also? What do you think? At least somebody who will tell you, tell the society what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. Otherwise, people will just make money and fight with one another. Is it not true?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Anybody else? There's one hand up there. Yeah.
Sir, first of all, namaskar.
Namaskar.
Sir, as we all have chosen this course, we have made the decision to be a CA. So that decision-making part has been done from our side.
Yeah.
So my question is, as Abhishek sir has told many times, that we will all not become CA. We will fail repeated a number of times. So how we make sure that we stick to the decision that we have taken?
Yeah.
How do we stick to that?
Yeah. One thing is, you know that it is not an ordinary profession. It's a very special profession.
Yes.
Becoming a CA, it's a prestigious profession, just like engineering or medicine, similarly chartered accountancy also. So everybody can make a few attempts, correct? No? So I wanted to know from sir, how many attempts a person can... No, Lene? So let us say they make 3 or 4 attempts. After that, they are not able to complete it for some reason. Is there an alternative direction they can take?
Formally does not have any.
Okay.
Back to square.
Okay.
But they need a lot of skills on the
Like they go for ICWA or something.
But on the basis of skills also they can get a job.
Is it done? Those are the skills they learned here. Correct. See, he's giving a lot of hope. Correct, huh?
Yes.
Those are the skills you can get, and also there are alternative directions you can take based on this knowledge. Because ICW is similar, yeah. If one couldn't make it here, one can make it something else next to that, next level. Even same with, for example, IIT, somebody couldn't make it in IIT, they can go to NIT. If they couldn't make it to NIT, they go to government colleges. Correct, no? If they cannot make it there, then there are also other colleges which are meritorious like Bits Pilani and others like that. So in every field you will see there are alternatives are available. So sir is the best person to tell you what are the multiple alternatives you can go for depending on your performance here. And there are people I know that if you're good in the field, everywhere you are wanted, correct, no? If you're smart. That's like one tuition teacher I know in Hyderabad, one mathematics teacher. He was so good that now he has his own institute with thousands of students. Just like sir has started here. So he could have had many companies offering him jobs which he didn't take. No. He preferred teaching. Like in his family line, they also were teaching. And he's very meritorious. That's why so many of you are here. Correct, no? So he will give you direction, what else you can do in case you couldn't make it. But for now, we will hope that you will make it. You will be a CA. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Deepak Abra, he is saying that Deepak Abra, who is telling about in Hyderabad, he was a CA student. He didn't make it in CA. Now he's a very big tuition teacher. He has thousands of students now. Yeah. There is always alternative. Even my Guru Maharaj used to say that you should have 4, 5 alternatives. If one didn't work out, have plan B, plan C, plan D. Can always have. It's not that we have, iron curtain and we have no other alternative. Many alternatives are there, isn't it? Thank you.
So on your Telegram channel, there is a Google form link. For those who don't want to ask questions, we have questions for them. To check the understanding of the session and interest. So that, and for others who are there on YouTube, there is a link on YouTube description. And other groups also, WhatsApp. I think Foundation has WhatsApp, Inter has Telegram. So all groups has that YouTube form link.
So they have to fill up the quiz. They'll get some prizes also. Later. Okay. Let's submit.
Hello, Namaskar. My question is regarding in certain situations we are like both decisions look right in one perspective. So how to choose and how to make decisions according.
So when I am not able to ascertain which one out of the two decisions is best, then I will turn to somebody like my mentor, who is more experienced than me, Or if I feel that I may choose a wrong decision based on some comfort rather than investing hard work, then if I'm little doubtful about my decision, I will check with the mentor, am I right? Am I going right? That's one thing. In the absence of the mentor, then I will consult my best friends. What would you do if you are in the situation and what is the reason for your choice? I will ask them. And each of them will give me 4 or 5 of them. And then based on that, I will find out the pros and cons. I will write down. Now I got a better picture now than before. Because earlier only one head was thinking. Now 4 or 5 heads are thinking. I can consult them. Nowadays there are various options. For example, say somebody did BA, BCom, for example. And then now they can go for MBA also. They can write CAT exam and they can go for MBA, and then they have a different career altogether, isn't it? Similarly, many times now the world has so many alternatives and options and everything. So in case I am not aware alone, we have our superiors, we have our peers who are our well-wishers. From them we can cancel, all right? And one more thing I will do is I will go to a specialist. So if I want spiritual knowledge, I will go to a spiritual mentor. If I want career guidance, I will go to a person who knows career. If you want an CA direction, he is the best person. He's an authority. So he can give you direction in that. Right now. And if you want to know some decision making based on Bhagavad Gita, you can come to me. I'll be most happy to respond.
Well, just with the reference to today morning at 11 o'clock, I had a old student coming down in the office, Vinit Punjabi. He's a chartered accountant. 10 years ago, he's completed a degree. Had a good fortune of money in derivatives. At that point of time, they used to expertise. Family members initially did not accept. He proven that he has a capability to do it in derivatives. He proven them, made a extremely good amount of money in last 4 or 5 years, beyond a crores. And few months ago, his wife got selected for a job in the United States. She got a H-1B visa. She got a very good package. Now, they want to go down to the United States. His entire derivative studying and everything cannot work because he does not have a business visa there. He has just a dependent visa. Wife will get H-1B, but he will not have it. That will be F visa that he will have. Now, he will have H1, H4, and then he'll have to transfer to visa called as F visa. And now he's in difficult state of mind. Should I go out or not? So he almost discussed for 1.5 hours what would be the different options. So I gave him about 7, 8 students who are there in the US, connected them. And this I said, you go and discuss or have a discussion with them. Is it possible for you to go and do a job there or take some STEM program there and take up a job? Because otherwise you'll not get a job. And again, Donald Trump is coming up. Now see how you're reading and thinking. If you remember, a few days ago, I told you how the Trump coming up can make different challenges, different solutions and different things. And at the end of it, he will now be in a position to take a decision. So what Radheshyamdas said is very perfect. You need to speak out to someone whenever you are in a trouble, whosoever that person it could be. Whenever you are in a trouble, you talk to somebody, and then definitely you'll get some clue to it. Might not be the perfect answer. I don't think I might have given a perfect answer to it, but at least you will have some research point to start. I don't know. Who else has a question? Out there.
Sometimes in such a situation, the question comes, sometimes nowadays husband is in one country and wife is in another country. Sometimes either she has to compromise or he has to compromise, one out of the two. If they consider the family value to be very important, you compromise on the career for family or compromise on the family for career. They're very tough. Yes?
Hare Krishna, sir. My name is Omkar.
Beautiful name.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I would like to ask a question relating to us all. Like, we face an issue. We know what is good and what is bad, but making choices, like, we don't know people, na? We directly he is my friend, but he has some bad habits. Everyone.
No, just giving an example, yeah. Example, yeah. Yes.
Everyone has something bad, and everyone has something. He is very brilliant, very intelligent, but has some bad habits. I ignore them, but I try to correct that things, but he tries to yeah, don't.
Yes.
But when you are telling that you should have a good circle around you, um, like everyone is going to have some or the other bad habit.
I agree, yeah, that's true.
Then how to choose right people when we don't know that he will or he or she will have some habits or not.
Okay. So, for example, in your friend circle, there may be people who are very good in studies. They excel in the studies. So you can connect with them for studies. You learn from them because they are superior to you in studies. So you can learn from them. But you don't have to learn the bad habit from them. But if they tell you, see, only if you smoke a cigarette, I will tell you about studies. If he tells you like that, then you don't have to accept that. But there are many friends who may not want you to push them to stop the bad habit. They will say, see, this is what I am. I will do my things, but I won't force it on you. Then you take help in the studies. Then will be another friend who may be able to help you with your good character, good behavior. Then you can take those things from them. There can be friends of different types. What I was specifically saying in the today's talk was, some friends are not uplifting, but they will degrade your consciousness, or they will ridicule you, mock at you, be very critical of you, and they will pinpoint faults in you repeatedly to such a degree that you become very choked in your psychology. Then it becomes like very toxic. They will put some word in your ear and go away. Then you keep on repeating that word, "Oh, I am useless, I am good for nothing." And so those people are very dangerous. That kind of people. Actually, nobody is useless in this world. Like one Guruji told his 3 disciples to bring this leaves of this jackfruit tree. Dry leaves, not even green leaves. But they went and came in the evening and said, "Sir, this leaves, one fellow is combining the leaves and making a plate, and he's selling in 1 rupee each plate. He was not ready to give me free leaves. I couldn't pick up," he said. Another fellow came and said, "One fellow is making powder from this and making a medicine." So he's saying that the leaves, if you want a heap of leaves, you have to pay for 1 kilo this much or whatever. Another fellow came and said one lady was having these leaves, but she said she's using it as a furnace fuel in the furnace. So none of us had any money with us, so we couldn't bring, they said. Then the Guruji taught them a very important lesson. Even a dry leaf is not useless. How can you be useless? Think about it, isn't it? So it really hit them very hard. So you need this type of uplifting stories, isn't it? In life, because already there is enough negativity in the atmosphere, the world around. So you need to hear something, the affirmation that encourages you and brings you closer to God, rather than somebody who strips you of the little confidence that you have. What do you think? You heard the story, all of you? There were 2 frogs, which had fallen into a dry well. They were trying to jump up, jump up. There were some frogs who were telling, "Hey, you can never jump, you can never come out, it is too deep," and everything. So one out of the 2 frogs could come out, other one couldn't come out. Because other one heard the word of discouragement, he couldn't come out. So the dog who came out was having deaf ears. Therefore, he could come out. Because he didn't hear the discouragement. Isn't it? So, in the same manner in our life, uplifting friends are required, I said. Those who, one type of bad friendship is those who spoil your spirits and discourage you. But the other type of friendship is those who pull you into deadly habits, like, for example, drinking, drugs, smoking, and those kind of habits. If they have it, you can connect with them for study's sake, but if they drag you to those habits, you will have to keep a distance. You have to keep a. The first one I talked about is emotional distance from the negative critics. Second one is those who have bad habits, those who drag you into bad habits, like Duryodhana was dragging Karna. And Krishna told Karna to come to Pandava's side. Correct, no? But you will see Karna ultimately was pulled by Duryodhana. And then he got destroyed along with Kauravas. And Vibhishan, if you see, his brother Ravana was bringing Sita. Vibhishan openly told him good advice. See, Sita, you are bringing here, she's another man's wife. You know, it's like tying a fire around your belly. You will die. He didn't listen. He kicked his brother Vibhishan on the chest. He said, get out. Because all ministers are agreeing and you are not agreeing, he said. But then what Vibhishan did? Did he stay with him? He went and connected with Ram. And then you will see Ravana and all party, they were all destroyed. So in this way, you have to be very choosy. You know, whether to, which one is the right option one should. Because Vibhishana could clearly see that. So that freedom you always have. And your own car, say you are a good boy, you can positively influence your other friends in a good direction. But we can't force them. You can take a horse to the river to drink water, but you can't force it to drink water. Even myself also, I teach thousands of students across the globe. I tell them what is right and I pray to them, please do this ABCD, association, Bhagavad Gita, chanting, devotion, that. But every jiva has a free will. Even God doesn't force. Krishna spoke the whole Gita and then told Arjuna, Yadechasi tata kuru, jo karna karo, jo bolna mein bol diya. But Arjuna made a correct choice. Karishye vachanam tava. Krishna, I will do as you told me, he said. So he picked up the right choice. God is so kind, he doesn't force us. He says, better, this is good, this is not good, now you choose. One boy asked in America a question to Prabhupada, Swamiji, God has made tobacco. That means he wants all of us to smoke cigarettes. No? He was telling like that. And Prabhupada said, God has made Datura poison plant also. Do you eat the Datura poison leaves? Do you eat? Oh, no, Swamiji, I will die if I eat that. Prabhupada said, that means you have discrimination power. Vivekabuddhi. What to eat and what not to eat. Similarly, God has put both good and bad. So you should choose the good. Thank you.
Sir, I have one more question.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a bad habit of telling people on their face that this is wrong. So you should at least do something right. But what happens, like, I end up breaking their hearts. But now they are friends, so we can't do like.
Yeah.
So
So
what should we do?
basically, you are a very straightforward person. So you can learn sensitive speech, sensitive behavior. Krishna says, Anudvega karam vakyam, he says, Satyam prehitam chayat. You should speak in a way not agitating to others. He says, you speak sensitively. For example, everywhere you don't have to say everything openly. Certain things you can tell personally, one-on-one. So we say, chastise in private, glorify in public. So public we can praise the person's good side. But privately, one-on-one, because you are interested in his welfare. If you are a true friend, you want to uplift him. So one-on-one you can tell. But if you tell in a public place about somebody's weakness, that means we are more spoiling his good reputation. And we are not interested in his growth. So if you're a good-natured person, you should think about the individual, how it will benefit. That's what you should think. And also he says, speak beneficially. Satyam, speak the truth. Speak sweetly, he says. Say the same truth in a palatable way. Don't say in a harsh way. So, like if you go and tell somebody, hey, morning I told you to do, till afternoon you haven't done anything. You're just sitting like a buffalo all day here, not doing anything. So one word he heard very well, which is that he will keep on telling you, you called him a buffalo, he will say. So we have to be very careful in how we speak, how we say what we say. Correct, no? And it's a straightforward behavior. It has its good side, it has its bad side. One thing people will know that this fellow doesn't keep anything in the heart, he speaks out. That's a good side. Bad side is people will fear to come close to you. They will think that So anything we tell him, he will go and tell in the public. So they will fear. So if you really want to win the heart of people, you can make a beginning from now that I will speak sensitively, I'll be careful. How do we do that? You can see there are other boys and girls who are very sensitive in their speech. They're very empathic. Empathic means they can feel what others feel. They can see the others' perspectives. Most of us see our own perspective only. See, imagine if somebody talks about you like this publicly. What will you feel? Will you feel bad or not? So the same thing we should feel for others. Atmavat sarvabhuteshu. Like I should be concerned about the feelings of others. Then that's called empathy, we call it. Sympathy means feeling pity. Empathy means able to feel what others feel. So these are all very fine qualities which will develop as we grow in our like prayer, in japam, study of the scriptures. So your name is a beautiful name. Your parents have given you Omkar. Krishna says, Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. I am the Omkar and the Vedas, Krishna is saying. So read Gita every day, 1 or 2 pages regularly, and you will see that your straightforward behavior will become combined with sensitive behavior. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, one question here. Here. Where is the mic? Hey, here she was asking. Yeah. There's only one mic. Mic is coming. Yeah.
Radhe Radhe sir. So my question is, sometimes we face conflict between our decisions taken by our brain and decisions taken by our emotions. Like Abhishek sir tells us that in stock market, sometimes we have to keep our emotions down. So how can we, how can we keep our emotions down in critical situation? In such a time, we have to think by our brain.
Yeah. Like Arjuna also was weeping in the beginning of the Gita, right now? But Krishna told him, this is a call for duty. You have to establish dharma yuddha. For that sake, you have to keep your, emotions down. Krishna said the same thing what Abhishek sir told you. Huh? See, for example, say a boy was trained in the military for 20 years. He is going to go for the war to protect our nation. So, but his mother is crying at home. What he should do? Should he go for the war or stay at home?
Go for the war.
Go for the war. So he has to tell the mother, don't worry, I'll come back safely, don't worry. Give her assurance and he should go for the battle. So that is the point we are talking today. In decision making, we cannot just go by the mind, go by reasoning. The intelligence is superior to the mind. Indriyani paranyahur, indriye paramana, manasastu parabuddhir, yo buddhe pratasusa. He says, above the senses is the mind. Above the mind is intelligence. And above the intelligence is the soul. The soul has all these things. So the soul should strengthen the intelligence by which he can subdue the emotions in the mind, which are actually not correct emotions. They are simply sentimental emotions. They have to be subdued. Is that clear? Thank you. There was one more hand up. Yeah.
Sir, I just wanted to ask, in our life, we may come across certain situations. We know what is right and what is wrong. The solution is also in front of us, but still we can't able to take decisions.
Yeah, that is because we don't have the sufficient willpower to pick up that choice, although we know it is right. And that willpower is increased by strengthening your subconscious mind by prayer, as I told you. By the chant, I said. Well, like today I was telling about the chanting japa. And also increase the sattva, like ABCD formula I told you. Regularly reading Gita, for example, and chanting and eating devotional diet. These are all positive energy boosting agents. Once our willpower increases, determination increases. Like this Nam Japam, for example, we just sit in one place and chant for, half an hour, 15 minutes like that. Many people feel, you want to get up now. But the more you build your willpower through this chant, then when you want to pick up a choice, you will be able to pick up. The willpower has to increase. But good that you are at least knowing what is right. That's first step is to know what is wrong, what is right. And then next one we need to, and also you can have friends who will encourage you to pick up the right. I told you peer association and a role model superior whom we adore. And then you can do in, like I told you, the, what do you call it, slices of the watermelon. I gave the example. If you can't do the whole thing, you can pick up little by little also. Thank you. There was one hand up here also, can give her Shiva grace. There's only one mic, I think. Is it okay?
Radhe Radhe, sir.
Radhe Radhe.
So I always had a doubt that I like Ravanan more than Ram.
Why? What is the reason?
Sir, because I have a perception like Ram has not trusted his wife. Because not that level he trusted his wife. He have told to do that, go into the fire. So I think as you are the leader or a king, you should be the first person to trust your...
Actually, no, there is a reason why Lord Ram told his wife to enter the fire. I will tell you the reason. It's given. You see, when Ravana came, that time there was a Lakshman Rekha put up. Correct, no?
Yes.
So Ravana tried to cross it. Like that, the fire came. He couldn't cross it. So he told Sita to come out. At that time, Sita has a spiritual body. Nobody can touch her. When she crossed the fire, she was taken by Agni's wife. Agni's wife's name is Swaha. So she took Sita to the Agni's abode. And Maya Sita was produced for Ravana. So the Sita who went with Ravana is Maya Sita. So Lord Rama knew that. So after the whole episode got over in Lanka, he told Maya Sita to go into fire and the original Sita came out.
Okay, sir.
And then he took her. This is in Kurma Purana. It is given. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to South India, in Madurai, there was one Brahmin who was very much lamenting that how can Ravana touch Sita and take her away. So then he showed evidence from Kurma Purana that Sita, actually, nobody can touch her, and this is what happened. The Agni Pariksha has a purpose behind it. Clear?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now whom you like, Ravana or Ravana?
Yet I like Ravana, sir, because I'm from South. I think because of our sisters that he was so crucial, cruel and all that. I still.
Yeah, I am also from Tamil Nadu only. I am from Madurai.
Vanakkam, sir.
You see, Ravana maybe is from South. That doesn't mean everybody in South is pure. No? See, whichever part of the world you are born, everywhere you find people with right attitude, wrong attitude. Correct or not?
Yeah, sir. Thank you.
See, in case of Ravana, he refused to change his attitude, whereas Vibhishan changed. So, you can develop a liking for Vibhishan. That would be great.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, I have a question that what is right and what is wrong? For example, if an entrepreneur, if he wants to set up a factory and he wants to evacuate a forest, so he will cut down trees, but his intention is that I will set up a plant and I will create employment and, I will develop the surrounding. But there are other type of people that defend it.
Environmental people, they will be happy.
So, if this world is made up of duality, so how we can decide what is wrong and what is right?
For example, the globe requires some amount of green element, which produces oxygen for all of us. And like nowadays, Amazon forests are cut down, millions of trees are getting cut down. So the moment you eradicate the green, there is going to be a crisis for oxygen. Even getting fresh air will become very difficult, correct? No? So that is why the government has marked green lands separately, and then other lands which are fit for industries and everything. So the limit is becoming set because even material we cannot live properly without that. So what I would say is the authorities in the government are concerned about the people in the world. So they are all coming together and making a plan. And we should not convert the green land into industry lands, surely. Some amount of land should be kept for that, surely. And also, I asked once a group of students, will you cultivate tobacco or sugarcane or rice? Say tobacco, you will get 20 lakhs per year. Sugarcane, you get 10 lakhs per year. And rice, you get 5 lakhs. So most people would want to cultivate which one? And rice only gives you 5 lakh per year, whereas sugarcane gives 10 lakh per year, and tobacco gives 20 lakhs. So majority of the students raised hand for sugarcane. They said, because it is harmless. And then I asked them, what about rice? Very few people raised a hand for rice. So the sugarcane wala people told me that we will buy rice from those fools who are making rice, because they get less profit, but we make more profit and we can purchase. And what about the tobacco. Some people raise hand for tobacco. I asked them, if you make tobacco, people will smoke cigarette and they will die. They said, what can we do? Let them die. But we want profit. So they are totally selfish. Huh? And on the other hand, sugarcane people are not able to understand the point that if everybody goes for sugarcane, then how will we get grains? Nobody can need sugarcane every day. Huh? We need grains. So in this world, in this way, one thing to understand is what is vital, what is important. Nobody will die without a cigarette, but people will die without grains, isn't it? So in the same manner, if we are going to industrialize all the forests and cut down all the trees, and the day will come when there will be no oxygen. So that's why environmental people are raising the flag and concern. So, and the top leaders are aware now how much forest can be cut and how much should not be cut. I would say that if you stick to that stipulation, whatever they have made, that is ideal, I would say. All right. Ultimately, everything belongs to God. He has given the nature, He has given water, He has given grains, He has given sunlight. See, God made the world a very beautiful place. If you see, the forests, countryside are so nice to go. But man made the cities. And He created a big mess. Air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, mind pollution, all kinds of pollution. You can see that. So the more the shoshan, we say now that exploitation tendency comes, the more we create trouble for ourselves and others. The more we are in alignment with sacred scriptures, then we also see nature as divine. You see other living beings as divine. You don't want to exploit other people. Like, for example, Shastras say, you can marry a woman, but you should not try to mess up with other men's wives. You should see other men's wives as mothers. Similarly, Shastras say that you have the right to do a job and earn money honorably, but you should not put your hand in others' pocket. It says that. Similarly, it says that you should treat others as you wish to be treated. Like none of us, is there anyone here who want to be cheated here? No. So you also should not cheat others. So don't cheat others and don't get cheated. Correct? So in this way you will see, if you want to know what is right, what is wrong, go to the scriptures. Tasman Shastra Pramanam Te Karya Akarya Vyavastito. Krishna says in 16th chapter, last verse in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, go to the Shastra Praman to know what is right, what is wrong. So know the principles from there. With those principles, you can apply it in your daily life. That will be very easy. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Can you take one last question? She wanted to ask. You can loudly ask me. Yeah. You cannot take it. You cannot. Yeah, the emotions overpower you and steal away your time, and you are not able to focus on the important things. Correct. Yeah, correct. Very important question she is asking. She asked a very important question. She is saying, sometimes we become emotionally so badly driven that we are not able to focus on the task in hand. And the emotion overpowers us and it steals away our energy, our time, And in this way, we have lost so much time, and then that's also affecting us, affecting our psychology also. So it is due to repeatedly dwelling on the instance which happened, which called as worry may bury you, we call it. Repeatedly going through the like a gramophone record, sometimes goes like that, again and again going through that. One thing that scientists have researched and found out that you should divert your attention. I have a video on self-management. It says that you need some activities which can divert you away from this dwelling on the negativity. Say, for example, you do bhajans, we do dance, we do kirtans, we also do gardening, we do cooking, we play instruments, we go for darshan in the temple. These are all high energy, positive energy producing activities. And because when we dance in a circle with all the devotees, everybody, somebody is rotating in the center, somebody is singing, somebody is playing instruments, darshan is put, and then mantras are chanted. So you should go to places where your positive energy boost will happen for you. And that also takes your attention away from the negativity. That's one thing which anybody can do. These are very easy activities. Like today you are hearing some sermon, from the Gita, which is uplifting sermon, which is meant for bringing the positivity in us. So this is one example of this. And the second thing, you need friends who can give you confidence and encouragement. to get out of this. Because they can tell you that you are not the only one. There are many others are suffering in so many different ways. So my sister, she had one son and one daughter. She had to send them to school. She said, "Oh, my life is so busy," she was telling. Another day, she went to her friend's house, and her friend's father, he was having one side paralysis. He was bedridden. And that lady's husband had a car accident and he had a fractured leg. So one side, her father, one side her husband and two cots. And then she also has three children at home. How she's doing, when my sister went and saw that, she said, my situation is not all that bad. So in this world, you will see there are people suffering much more than you. When you compare your situation to that, then you understand that by God's grace, my problem is not as big as theirs. That's why sometimes we should not be like a frog in the well. We come out and go and see the people how they are suffering. So that will help us to consolidate our mind and be more peaceful. So uplifting association of friends, seeing the situation of different people. And another thing, Krishna says these emotional turmoils will not remain forever. Agama apayino anityahatam stitikshasva bharata. He says they will come, they will stay for a while and they'll go away. Situations will change. So don't be stuck in one thing, try to come out of it. And that is why hearing the spiritual sermons and taking part in positive spiritual, positive boosting activities, it is something very uplifting and it diverts our attention. It takes you out of that, situation, which we need that kind of uplifting association. Thank you. But your question was a very honest and very good question, very important. Many students, like in case somebody failed in a paper, they become very morose. Moroseness is not going to help them. Now they have to see how do I go about it now? Somebody can help me in that paper. Because some papers are difficult, I believe, right now? Some papers. Yeah. Yeah. So then you think about some constructive activity which will uplift you rather than brooding over the past. Brooding over the past and fearing about the future. Future means, what if the paper becomes difficult? Past means, if only I passed in that paper. So if only and what if. These are the two wings of the mind bird which carries the mind away. With these two wings, it will come to ground level. And that's what we do when we are chanting. We are in the present. Like we were all singing 3 times I sang. Singing or japa, you bring the mind to the current present. Don't let it fly away thinking of the past and future. Like children are always in the present. Have you seen that? Mom, you see this flower is so beautiful. Mom, look at this butterfly is so beautiful, because they don't have any anxiety, because all their anxiety they are given to the parents. And they are very free. And similarly, we can also give our anxieties to God. Krishna says that to Arjuna. You give your anxiety to me. I am riding your chariot. I will guide you. But because we keep it with ourselves, we get very tense. That's another way. Go and pray to God. Please take away my anxieties and give me the strength to focus on what is good for me in the long run. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Namaste, sir. Myself, Samruddhi.
Yeah.
Sir, I chant this one mantra every day, which is from Bhagavad Gita. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranataha Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namah.
Very nice.
And one more mantra you said, that Hare Krishna, we all know that. So which mantra is more powerful or effective, which we must chant every day?
No, this Hare Krishna mantra which I told you, that is given by Brahma to Narada in Kali Sandara Upanishad for this age. You all know the age where you're living in. What's the name of the age? Kali Yuga, we call it. So for Kali Yuga residents like all of us, he has given this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So you can recite it regularly, 108 times if you can, and daily do that. And that other mantra which you said is also correct mantra. And that can be occasionally uttered. But this Maha Mantra is repetitively, it should be done. If you want to get benefits, you repeat it, hear it, repeat it, hear it, it will completely calm the mind. You can try that.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Okay. One last question. I have to go for a program in another 5 minutes. I have to leave. Okay, we can take this to, yeah. Yeah. Mike is going behind here. Yeah.
So, hello, sir. My name is Natarajan. Actually, from very small, I am a very fidgetative child. So now you told us about ABCD analysis. So in which C stands for chanting.
Correct.
Actually, I have been practicing Sandhya Mandaram since past 4 years. So I'm able to keep myself calm only for the half an hour
Okay.
when I perform it. So what about the rest of the day?
Correct. Actually, Sandhya Mantan, which you're doing is very good. We can continue doing that. But this Hare Krishna mantra, you know what is the meaning of this? Oh Lord, purify me, uplift me, accept me. That's the meaning of this. Just like a child is calling for the mother, like that. Oh Lord, purify me. Why you have to purify? Because the impurity is what is keeping you agitated. Like a virus enters into your computer, then only the computer goes crazy. When you remove the virus, computer is calm. Similarly, you find monkeys are very, very hyperactive. But there is one monkey who is sitting very calmly. Anybody knows? Which is the monkey? Which is the monkey which is calmly sitting peacefully? It's Hanuman. Hanuman is calm because he's chanting Ram Nam. Therefore he's calm. So the chanting of this Nam is much more emphasized. Gayatri can be done 3 times a day. But this chanting, it has 3 syllables. Hare, Krishna and Ram. Krishna means all attractive supreme. Ram means supreme enjoyer. Hare is actually Radharani. Radhe, we say like. So we are praying to the mother, Divine Mother, that please pick me up. Please purify me. Uplift me. Accept me. This is the mood in which you offer the prayer. You try this. And you will see, even few minutes a day, if you chant like 108 times, you will see a big effect on the whole day. You will see. Early morning if you can do it. Very nice. Okay. One last question. There was one hand up somewhere. Yeah, here. You can tell me loudly.
As we all know, sir, as we all know, the first 1 hour of morning after waking up, it is very important.
Correct.
So, can you please tell us some set of things that we have to do?
The morning when we get up.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you get up in the morning, of course, the first thing when you take a bath and when you sit in meditation, meditation is the best thing to do because meditation softens your mind, and through this chant which I told you, then you can give positive affirmations. What many of our students do, they rise in the morning, they chant one round, it takes about 10 minutes. And they read 1 or 2 pages from Gita, it takes 10 minutes. This 20 minutes you do, that's all. After that, you start with your studies. You can get into your regular, and also especially theorems and other things are difficult to memorize. Early morning is best because the daytime you won't be able to absorb. But the early morning, your subconscious mind is willing to absorb. Like I told you, it's like a ground. Whatever you want to sow, you can sow. So early morning is best for it. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'll conclude with this. For